Başak, what else do we need to tell our viewers about accidents in Turkey? Is there anything general you think that I've forgotten to ask you about?
Yeah, what I would say is actually when an accident happened, basically you should involve some government departments, and most likely it's going to be the police. So because if an accident happened, you have to have your evidences securely kept. Yeah. So because in your future claims you will all need that evidences back to the date, like a date of accident. So I could definitely understand you might be panicked, you may not be in that situation to collect evidences at that time. At least then call a lawyer. And we have a legal aid system in Turkey, so whoever needs a lawyer, our bars are providing a lawyer to assist them.
I was going to come back to that in a moment.
So at least you should call a legal aid.
Yes, so but let's just go back to the idea of calling the police, because there are several really good advantages to calling the police, aren't there? First of all, they will investigate the accident, it won't cost you anything.
Yeah, and the evidences will be collected.
Yeah. And second huge advantage is if the person thinks he could go to jail, it makes him a lot more enthusiastic about negotiating a settlement of the case.
Exactly.
So if there is any justification for involving the police, it's always a good idea, isn't it?
Exactly. And by the way, when we are talking about the police, it is 155 for calling
the number
the police.
155.
Yeah, 155.
Okay, moving on from that then, you've mentioned lawyers. Should you see your lawyer as soon as possible after you've had an accident so that they can start working for you immediately, or is it better to wait until you know what your injuries are?
Actually, the lawyers cannot take an action without knowing your injuries in terms of like both the criminal and compensation cases, because for the criminal case is not really lodged by the lawyer. You just make the complaint, and the prosecution office will be doing that. Exactly. So for compensation parts, lawyers will be involved, and it is better for them to at least have an idea about what type of like damages and losses that you will be facing, because this is going to be claimed.
So does that mean then that if you are seriously injured, your lawyer really can't start the case for maybe months after the date of the accident because you don't know how bad the injuries are going to be?
I wouldn't say that, because you can still lodge the case, but the case will be in a grey period for a while, because until your injuries are like found out, and also until the fault of the parties are found out. So this civil case will be on hold for a while.
Yes, until you can sensibly get some experts to produce reports.
Yeah, but what we have is when you are filing the civil case, obviously you have to let the court know about the amount that you are claiming for.
Yes.
But in accident case or in some other cases, the claim is not like a clear. So you can start with a claim. We can put, let's say, 15,000 Turkish lira, but you can then increase your claim while the process is being ongoing.
So if it becomes obvious that things have got worse, you can increase the amount of the claim. Okay. Now, but if you're going to deal with an accident case, you do need to see a lawyer, especially if you're a foreigner and you don't speak Turkish. I mean, this is absolutely 100% essential.
Yeah, I would say any person who had a serious accident, has some damages mentally or like a monetary, needs a lawyer.
Yes, and there is no win, no fee in Turkey. There's no arrangement whereby a lawyer can say, if I don't win this case, I won't charge you. That's illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal. Every legal aid has to have some fee basis, but there is minimum tariff, which is really affordable.
And the legal aid system here, if you need a lawyer, you will be able to have one appointed by the state. These are lawyers
by the
bar, I meant the bar, not the state. And these are lawyers who have volunteered to go onto the legal aid system. And you're not forced to go onto the legal aid system.
No, you don't. You choose to be one of the legal aids. Yeah.
And is it fair to say that mainly they're young and inexperienced lawyers?
Yes, they are mostly junior lawyers.
So you then perhaps need to think about whether you want to have a young and inexperienced lawyer dealing with this case, or whether you need someone with a little bit more experience.
Yeah. It is just a choice of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end, that comes down to money.
Yeah.
And on the legal aid system, the lawyers are paid very, very little indeed, aren't they? It's,
and they are paid by the system. So,
they're paid by the system, but they get paid very little.
Very little, as per minimum tariff, I would say. Yeah.
If you go to a private lawyer as opposed to a legal aid lawyer, what sort of fee arrangements are made? I know that in court cases you usually receive a percentage of the amount that is recovered. Do you charge an additional fee on top of that?
Normally how it works is we are charging on a percentage basis, but it is subject to a minimum.
Yes.
Because of the amount of the case might be lower than the minimum fee basis. And also, if we succeed, we normally ask for a bonus, when we win the case. We will be asking for a bonus. But it's what you need to know about this. You need to have a proper contract, retainer agreement with your lawyer.
A fee agreement.
For these fees to be applicable to you. If there is no agreement, basically tariffs and the bar will make a decision about the charging.
Am I right in saying, or maybe I've misunderstood this, that if you don't have an agreement in place with your lawyer, the bar can impose the minimum fee?
Minimum fee, or what they will do is they will check the content of the case, and they will be saying that, okay, this is either this minimum fee or recommended tariff fee.
So they have discretion.
Yeah, and most likely the minimum fee will be applicable.
Yes. But in your case, and I know it's some of your colleagues in the office do accident work rather than you, but in your case, in this firm, if someone came and they'd had a serious accident, would you require them to pay some money at the beginning of the case when they started to seek your advice, and then more as the case continued? How does it work?
Normally, it depends on the system of the office, by the way. In our office, we usually request upfront payment, especially for our disbursements and some fees that payable. In some cases, we require also the professional fee, at least some percentage upfront. But if it depends on the type of the case as well, because if it's a very a strong criminal or let's say compensation case, we might leave it till to the end. But I would rather to have an upfront payment.
I'm sure you would. It puts bread
for the expenses.
Puts bread on the table.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, the expenses are quite considerable because you're having to pay for experts' reports and other witnesses. So they're not cheap cases to bring. Başak, thank you very much indeed. I hope our readers have found that interesting. If you have, please like the video or follow this channel. And of course, remember that Başak has written a much more detailed guide, written guide to this topic. That's available at www.Guides.Global. And she's also the joint author of our book, How Things Really Work in Turkey, which is also available from www.Guides.Global. Hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.